We work with our athletes on a platform called Final Surge. There's a lot of different platforms out there. They're all fairly similar, but this gives you a point of reference of what this week and the week leading up into your race can look like, should look like in terms of training. Before I jump into where we're at now, which is only about 10 days out from your race, is I want you to recognize that wherever you're at right now, you have met the fitness that you need for this race. You still may be able to dial in some things like what is my pace going to be? What's my heart rate going to be? What's my power going to be? What's my swim going to really look like over the next few days? But in terms of fitness and doing hard workouts, that is in the past. We build our plans based on different training blocks, and a peak training period is 3, maybe 4 weeks out from a race. So some people were traveling on 4th of July. You may not have been able to get in everything that you wanted to do. Just let it go. It's okay. Don't try to catch up on anything right now. Swim, bike, run workouts to give you a look at. Maybe you have not done a swim yet this week, so I'm going to give you an idea of what we would have our athletes do the week prior to a race. We have this Olympic and a sprint distance, so I'm going to show you the Olympic distance. We call it swim simulation, and all of our workouts have some sort of a warm up, but the main thing to think about is what this main set looks like. And it's got some 300s in it where we're asking you to go out fast for the first 100. Why? Because that simulates what it's going to feel like at the start of a race. And then you're going to slow into what your race pace intent is for 200. You get ample rest and you repeat that 5 times. So if it's a sprint distance race, it's actually a 300 where you go out, a 200 where you go out 50 fast and then 150 on the easy side. And then for biking, a lot of us do not have trainers and we're out on roads that have some traffic. It's a real simple workout. It's called anaerobic capacity. The idea is to spend a very brief period of about 30 seconds at a fairly hard intensity. Give yourself ample time to recover. It could be 3 minutes, it could be 5 minutes, it could be 7 minutes. It doesn't really matter. The idea is really to just get some intensity in for like 30 seconds to a minute. And it's a short workout. It's only 45 minutes long. And then on Friday, we have our athletes doing open water swim because it is open water swim season with LA Tri Club. And then I'm asking them to, after, and it doesn't have to be 1,500 yards in 30 minutes. It can be whatever distance and duration is appropriate for you. But the idea is to get in a 15-minute run right after. So my instructions say this is your last swim before the race. Get your wetsuit off and aim to skip the showers, go straight to your car. In your car, you should have your running shoes lined up and ready to go. Why are we doing this? Because a lot of times we don't do much after our swims, and going from vertical to horizontal is a change in blood pressure. It's a change in the muscles that we're using. It's a change in our heart rate. So if you've done some of those workouts already, fantastic. If you haven't, make sure that you do that prior to race day.
In the final week, from say Monday to Friday, the absolute best thing you can do for your race is bank sleep. Nobody, and I don't care
Hmm.
how steely cool you are, what a veteran you are, you're not going to sleep well the night before the race. And to that end, it's really important to bank that sleep so that the night before the race, if you only get 3, 4 hours of sleep tops, of course, we have to get up crazy early to go to the race site. And you might be nervous going to sleep. You might not sleep that well. You might get up in the middle of the night to pee and then be thinking about it again and have a tough time going to sleep. It won't matter because you've gotten 8+ hours of sleep for the 5 nights leading into that. You'll be fine. Brennan sent this to us. The race director sent this to us, as kind of a description. And I looked at it and I just thought it was chaos. But here's the thing I want you to know. This is the most important thing. There's a flow to every transition, and there's a flow to this one. So I'm going to go through a couple of those flows right now. I'm going to choose blue. The ocean is down here, and when you come out of the water, you're going to run up the sand, and the entrance to the transition area and the swim in is right here. So that is where you're going to enter the swim in. And then however you want to go from there, if you want to go this way to get to your rack, if you want to go this way to get to whatever you want to do to get to your rack, that's fine. But you're going to find your bike where it's racked based on that movement. Okay, now hold on, let me nix that. Okay, Now, the bike out, I'm going to do that in red. The bike out goes this way, and the bike exit of the transition is right here. You go out, and the bike course itself runs along here. That's where the street is. Okay. And when you first get on the bike, you're going to hang a left. You'll see that here in a minute. So that's the bike out. So even if your rack is, say, over here, you're just going to make your way up the row and then head out to that bike. So no matter where it is, you're just going to find your way. But that's the flow of the bike out. Okay. Then the bike in, when you finish the bike ride, I'm going yellow here. The bike in comes in from the bike course this way. It enters right here. And then you can go down this way, come around and up through the middle and find your way back to your rack. So that's the bike in when you're finished. And then I'm going green here for the run out. The run out is wherever you're starting. If your rack is right here, you're going to run out this way and go out this exit right here. Now, there's going to be huge arches and gantries at all of these. There's going to be a big arch right here that says swim in. You'll know where to swim in. There'll be a big arch over here that says bike out, and you'll know to go underneath that arch to go out. When you get off the bike, it'll be really easy because everybody will be flowing right into this arch right here, which is the bike in. And then you'll have to look to see where the run out. And our advice always is when you get there in the morning and you rack your bike on your rack and you drop your backpack and you're still dressed in your warm-ups, go and walk the routes. Come all the way over here to where the swim in is and put your back to the beach and say, okay, I've just finished a great swim. By the time I've arrived here in transition, I have found my Velcro, found my zipper leash, unzipped, rolled my shoulder off so my arm is free inside out from the wetsuit, rolled the other side off so it's free. And when you get to that point, just inside the transition area, the wetsuit should be around your waist. And then you finish your run to your bike rack, and that's where you strip it off your legs. And then when you have that done and you've walked the route to get to your rack, then from right there, visualize it. Wetsuit comes off my legs, helmet gets unbuckled, shoes get on. I grab the bike. Now, where do I go? And make your way out to this run out here so that you can find your way to here and walk it. Walk all the way. You got plenty of time. Walk to that place, look over the fence, see where the mount line is where you're allowed to start riding your bike. It's either going to be in chalk or tape. There could be signs there. If you don't see it, ask a volunteer to understand. Is it right outside the transition area, or do you have to turn and run out to the street to mount the bike? So investigate all of that. And then when you visualize mounting the bike and riding on, then walk down to this zone right here, see the arch of the bike in, turn your back to the bike course and just say, okay, I've dismounted at the dismount line. I've seen that. I'm off the bike. Helmet's still buckled. I'm going to make my way to my rack. How am I getting there? And then once you figured that out, then eyeball where the run out is and the route you're going to take to get to that. Before I leave this, I'm just going to say this. The run to finish, okay, comes back along this route, turns, goes up here, and the finish, I'm presuming, is right up in here somewhere. So there's a lot to that. And I add that because the way races go today, I don't care who's in front of you. I don't care if they look 30 years out of your age group. I don't care if you're not certain if they're in your gender. I want you to pass that person before the finish line. If you're in this zone, that's your race right there. Okay. Questions on the apps? This thing was a mess when it was clean, and I've just made it infinitely worse. Questions about the flow of transition? What's in the chat here? Hang on.
Ian, will we
Okay.
talk about waves later?
Yeah, I mean, I want to talk about them now.
Cool. How do we get like pre-assigned and then we'll be informed where we,
Okay. This is Carla and I are going to speak to this as best we can. And what's confusing us is this. For ages, you know, we've started with like age and gender. It's been age group waves. That's just what we do. Um, it appears to me that some of the waves might be linked with swim ability. But nonetheless, I'm going to switch to baby blue here. It's obvious right here that this is wave one. So however they're determining that, like, is that
Well,
women?
wave one is para.
Oh, well, that's not a good example.
Wave two is when the age groupers start. And my feeling is they're going to make wave two anybody who's like a minute 30 and faster per 100 in the
Yeah,
start.
fast swimmer. So wave two is right here. So clearly there's some logic behind that. Wave three right beside it. We can see it right there. And then they just keep clicking off. So
But there's two wave threes. They go two wave
there's
threes
two,
and
one here, one
only
there.
one wave four, two wave fives, only one wave six.
Well,
So every other wave is slightly smaller, and there may be a reason for them to just want to stagger the people a little bit more.
here's what I want to say about this. We can't know everything. We just can't. And it's nice to know all we can, but when you show up to do your packet pickup, whether that's 90 minutes before the race starts or whether that's the day before, ask some questions about this. Get an understanding of what wave you're in, what color your cap is, what time the first wave goes off, and how far apart those waves are so that you can kind of figure it out, what your real start time is. And then when you get there, obviously your race number, your cap color, whatever is going to be linked to one of these racks, and you're going to end up knowing where to go. We can't hit the nail exactly on the head tonight, but you will know before you get there in the morning. Here it is. This is the sprint swim course right here. So just to get our bearings, I'm going to switch first to oh, I can't do it in this. That's okay. Um, we're in Long Beach, right? Here's the big aquarium, huge parking area here across the street from the race site. Right here is the transition area that we were just looking at. The run is going to come in here. The swim entrance is going to be in here. This is where all the bikes are going to be racked. This little street right here is the bike out is on this side, the bike in is on this side. I'll get to that in a second. But just to get our bearings, here we are in Long Beach, and the sprint swim, 750 meters, is going to start somewhere right in here on the sand. And you're going to swim out to the first buoy, which is right here, right shoulder turn. Second buoy right here, right shoulder turn. Third buoy here, right shoulder turn, come into the finish. That's the sprint swim. Just to switch gears quickly, this is the Olympic swim. These three buoys are going to be in the same place. Those three for the sprint are in the same place. Olympic is going to come out. This is a left shoulder turn. Come out here to the east into the sun for sure. Right shoulder turn. Come back. Now you have the sun at your back. Easy to spot this buoy and this one, and then into the finish. There is no surf here, and let me explain why. If I zoom out a little bit, you see this line right here, and there's a little break, and then there's this huge line here and a little gap. This is an Army Corps of Engineers rock wall that is designed to keep any surf from ever entering any of this area. There will not be a wave breaking on this beach. And the wind would have to blow precisely from the southwest to get into this to make even chop. I've swam here dozens and dozens of times in my life, and I have never seen whitecaps on this water. It is always protected and glassy smooth. And I'll go a step further. If you're doing the sprint swim, I don't even think it can be bumpy. In the Olympic, maybe you can get out here a little bit into some chop, but I doubt it. This is going to be a piece of cake. So if you're not comfortable with diving under swells and whitewater and surf riding back in, do not worry about it. This is the closest thing to a lake swim that the Pacific can provide. Okay, I got questions in the chat. I want to jump over here really quickly.
We just jumped down to wave start timeline
Yeah, here it is.
that Morgan added. Everything
Oh,
else.
nice. Paris starts 6:45. Olympic distance starts 6:50. And that goes in this order: swimmability 10, which is super fast, red caps, and then every additional wave it says 3 to 5 minutes. I'll leave that for a second, but okay, that'll be great.
That's from the PDF that Veronica sent out.
Okay. Morgan, I love that you're on this. Thank you for sending this. Final wave is approximately 7:50. Then sprint distance starts at 8 a.m. And again, first is orange caps, swimmability 10, very fast. Additional waves every 3 to 5 minutes. Final wave 9 a.m. There you go. The water is beautiful. Love hearing that comment. Alice says, if you raise enough money, you can get an early start time. That's true. Good fundraising for CHLA. Thank you. And more information and email to be sent out beforehand. So I'm sure they'll tighten that up as we go. So that's really good to hear. Thank you, everybody.